Hello viewers and welcome to another edition of the program Lifeline. My name is Ruth Usman and I'm sitting in for Oki Amechi Somto. Today Lifeline shall be taking a look at a mental disorder known as epilepsy, of which the World Health Organization reported about 50 million people actually suffer from this disorder, and with 90% of this population living in the developing countries. Yes, Nigeria is definitely one of these countries. But what exactly is epilepsy and what causes it? Well, for answers to these and many more questions, sit back and enjoy today's program. I have as my guest today Dr. Biodun Ogungbo. He is a consultant neurosurgeon. So, Doctor, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, starting, what really is epilepsy?
Epilepsy is a disorder of the brain. Essentially, it means that there's something happening inside the brain that's irritating the brain, leading to the electrical activities being jumbled up. And so that leads to a lot of activity within the body that then shows that there's something happening within the brain. So if somebody is having an epileptic attack or a seizure, you might find that suddenly they stop moving, they lose consciousness, and then they can have jerky movements of their arms and legs. In some other situations, there may be no actual movement of the hands and legs, but the person just starts staring into space like that for a few seconds, so they lose touch with reality. But what is actually happening is that at that point in time, all the brain activities just becomes jumbled up, and all the electrical impulses are flying left, right, and center, sometimes in a coordinated way, other times uncoordinated. So we say somebody has had a seizure when they've had one attack of this disordered activity in the brain. When they've had repeated attacks like that, then it's labeled as epilepsy.
Okay, so are you trying to say there is a difference between epilepsy and the seizure?
No, they're essentially the same thing.
Okay.
One seizure is just a seizure. Several seizures caused by any condition can then be labeled as epilepsy. So if somebody is having repeated seizures, then you say that they have epilepsy. But for example, somebody may have a head injury, and as a result of the injury to the brain, they have this disorder of the brain, which gives them a seizure. But they may not have any more for the rest of their life. So you can't say that person has epilepsy. All they've had is a single seizure. Somebody else may have a seizure, say caused by a brain tumor. They then have repeated seizures. They have repeated seizures. You then have to say that that person has epilepsy because they're having repeated seizures. So they're the same thing, but it could be for one person, just one single seizure, end of story. But it could be for another person, repeated seizures, and so you have to say that they have epilepsy.